Good morning, traders. Welcome back to Market Mornings, your go-to spot for headlines, market moves, and chart setups. Everything you need to start your trading day off right. I'm Reed. We got a packed show once again. I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. So let's get straight into it. Before we do that, let me just remind you, this stream is for informational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor just yet, so please do your own research and consult with a licensed professional before making any financial decisions. And also, some of the links that I mentioned may be affiliate links. So if you use them, I may receive a commission, but it's at no extra charge to you. And remember, it's a great way to support the stream and show love to your boy. We'll just said we're going to get straight into the top headlines, everything you need to know. Just giving you a global market snapshot. The S&P 500 is it's all pre-market on the U.S. side. S&P 500 is up 0.1%. The stocks is up The stocks Europe 600 is up 0.43%. The Nikkei 225 is up a half a point. The Shanghai is up 1%. The 10-year is falling back down to 4.37, and the dollar index is down a little bit, 0.8%. So we'll get right into the global news. Global layoffs are mounting. And we'll go right to that. Citigroup is set to cut 3,500 jobs. And these are tech jobs. They're based in their China, Shanghai, and Dalian solution centers. They're saying some of the positions are going to be relocated to other cities to support Citi's global network, but they're declining to give us any staffing numbers that supports that. The China Citibank company is saying that they're going to be unaffected, and they're reaffirming their commitment to continue corporate investment in the country. And they're just saying they're trying to streamline its operations and lift profitability and compete more closely with its rivals. And you also have Procter & Gamble set to cut 15% of its office jobs in the next 2 years. That's about 7,000 people, and these are office jobs. And they're saying that they said that on a presentation they posted on their website, and they didn't, the location of these cuts weren't provided. So people around there are looking at people like, hey, is we gonna be here next year, in the next 2 years? So, and they're also citing, recession. People, they're citing tariffs. It's weakening consumer sentiment and higher costs from tariffs. Then you have a Malaysia oil company, state-owned oil company, set to cut 10% of its workforce. That's about 5,000 people. They're saying that, what are they saying? They're saying that, and then they're also saying that they're going to freeze promotions until December 2026. So people ain't getting no promotions until 2027. So that pay is locked in. So yeah, man, we got some stuff brewing on the global layoff front. Then we also have business confidence is down. Business optimism slumps, and they're saying it's a clear pivot from the Trump election. Only 27% of executives feel optimistic about the future. That's down from 47% in the first quarter of this year and 67% in the fourth quarter. So prior to the election, 67% of corporate execs were optimistic. Now that's at 27%. That's a huge change. And they're citing recession sentiment creeping back in. And so therefore, as a result, corporate spending could slow. So we'll continue to watch that. Musk and Trump back in the news. Musk urges Americans to take action to kill the Trump tax bill. He posted a picture of Kill Bill. I don't know if it's in this article, but a picture of Kill Bill talking about the bill. So Elon is fighting Trump's tax plan to protect his EV tax credits. That's what everybody's saying. So watch the EV sector and subsidy chatter. Tesla, Ford, Rivian may be volatile. And we can listen. We'll listen to this real quick.
Republican senators have met with President Trump to discuss ways to fix the SALT cap.
We had a very positive discussion about the path forward on the big, beautiful bill, on the reconciliation bill. And I think it was a reminder that we are all in this together. This is a team effort, and everybody is going to be rowing in the same direction to get this across the finish line. Failure is not an option.
Elon Musk, in the meantime, ramping up his criticism against the bill, writing on X, quote, "Call your senator, call your congressman. Bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill." All right, let's bring in Bloomberg's Kevin Whitelaw for more. So Kevin, John Thune saying positive things. There were good discussions. There is a time limit.
All right, so you get the picture. Trump and Elon beefing again. And we don't know where that's going to lead. You got the richest man in the world and the most powerful man in the world going at it. Then you got ECB to cut rates as trade mess weighs in on the economy. 8 consecutive cuts likely, down to 2%. This could weaken the euro, but help risk sentiment across EU. So the EU is taking steps to boost sentiment, consumer sentiment, and they're looking at rate cuts. It says the European Central Bank is set to lower interest rates for an 8th time as President Trump jolts the global trade dims the prospects for they're trying to dim the prospects for inflation on the economy. This is some of the same stuff that Trump wants, our central bank to do, is cut the rates. Europe is they're trying to get it down to they're saying it'll be cut to 2% a quarter on Thursday. So they're trying to get it down to basically 2%. We were there for a while. So this may help Trump's argument on that. So then also in the news we have long dated bond rejection, and this is kind of getting into the nerd stuff. U.S. stock futures waiver as job data looms ahead. So investors losing appetite for this is a different article. This, like I said, this is into the nerd stuff. Investors losing appetite for the 20 and 40-year debt. BlackRock and Double Line both cautious on U.S. deficits, and they're citing weak. They're saying it's going to be a weak auction. If you know anything about bonds, they have these auctions. I don't know the cadence on it or when they happen, or if it's like every month or every week or whatever. I'm not real familiar with that. But the Fed yield curve control may become a topic again. So that's what's pretty much going on in the news. We're gonna go to the charts now and check in on our weekly stock picks for the week. And we're going to take a look first at Coinbase. I mentioned yesterday that so goes Bitcoin. Well, Coinbase has kind of been tied to Bitcoin. And right now I have them neutral to bearish. Like I said, there's a bear wick that's formed here. It got rejected at the 261 mark, so it's under pressure. It may revisit the 240 support, which is right here. So if you're if you've been in Coinbase, like I said, it's getting towards the end of the week, you probably want to take profit on that. Then we'll move to Qualcomm. Qualcomm is I have them bullish. They broke the neckline of that double top, so they actually hit the target. They broke the neckline, hit the target, and came back up. So they're holding structure. The RSI is stable as well, and the fib bounce is in play. This may switch. Like I said, it kind of got rejected at this support here, but it's got momentum is kind of building. Like I said, the RSI is pretty strong. So pre-market is at 149. That's about level. So it's holding strong right here. It may break out of this and go to 150, 154 and then 156. So I'm bullish on that right now. C Limited, like I didn't have this as one of my weekly plays, but I've added it. But I'm also bearish on it. Like I said, a double top confirmation. It was a clean rejection from this number right here, and it's eyeing a target near 150. It may not get down to this 145, but I'm seeing 150. This line right here, I'm definitely seeing that coming into play. That doesn't mean I'm not bullish on the long run on this stock, but just for this week, I think it may have run its course. And like you said, like I was saying yesterday, you probably want to take profit on that. PayPal. PayPal, I'm bullish on that as well. Pushing higher. RSI is above 60, so that's pretty strong. It's holding above the VWAP structure here. You can barely see it, but it's holding on the high side, so it just keeps bouncing off that. So that signals an uptrend. And the EMA structure. The EMA, it bounced off of the EMA here, so it's got some legs, some room to run. And remember, I said the target is 73. Pre-market, it's at 73 right here. So we could get a rejection. So it may be, if you got in earlier at 71 and 68 and stuff like that, it's a good place to take profit. But if you're long on it, this is one of the fintechs that I like. If you're long on it and you don't mind taking a slight pullback here or drawback, then you can also, drawback means it falls down from your tops here. But I wouldn't hate someone taking profit on this. But I do believe, since it has hit the 73, it may get rejected, but I think it's gonna eventually go to 74. That's just my opinion. And then we got ON Holding. ON is the ticker on that. On Holding, I'm bearish. Got a bearish divergence right here. Yesterday I called this a flag, but this is more so a divergence. Do your research on that. But the RSI is trending down, signaling a key fib zone. So we're eyeing a target of we're eyeing a target. Well, we're just gonna watch the breakdown. When stocks start doing this, you probably want to get out. So good take profit would have been 60. You see on this. Actually, we're down for the week on this one, but you can't win them all. But I would just be cautious on this now. Pre-market, it is up about 20 cents. I just don't like this RSI being this low and the momentum changing and it not gaining any momentum. Like, it's still probably gonna go back to the red, and we have no strength in this in any in the momentum changing. There's no strength in that. So this could fall to 55, which would be a good buy point if you ask me. 55. I mean, even if it drastically falls to 49, those are all good buy zones to me. Speaking of buy, Best Buy. We got Best Buy here. Best Buy is rebounding. Like I said, it rebounded about last week the same time, and it's been on a tear, so to speak. It's consolidating around the 200 EMA from its recent lows. So like I said, it's reclaiming the EMA, kind of establishing that, hey, we're gonna, we're good at this mark. It could retest 72, like it did right here, actually close to 73. So that's to me, that's a good, if the momentum builds. I mean, the momentum has changed, as you can see right here. RSI is kind of moving into an overbought position here. And yesterday, I just want to just quick correction. If you look at my stream yesterday, I know what I was talking about, but I was saying oversold right here, but I meant to say overbought. And I also had a correction on Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and all that stuff. I got that mixed up. I don't know what I was doing. The coffee, I had too much caffeine. But anyways, like I said, always do your own research. That's why you do that. But yeah, so this is to me, this is a strong stock. It may, like I said, you may get some rejections here, but it's rebounded, and like I said, I'm looking forward to test 72. That's just my opinion. And last but not least, Alcoa, I was a little down on this earlier in the week. I'm still mixed on it. It's got a bearish setup, but bouncing off of the 61 percent Fibonacci, which is also a key number. But we need volume confirmation. I think yesterday it was at 20 quarter million. Now it's at 70, about 750,000. So which is good. And pre-market it is up about 40 cents from yesterday's close. So honestly, my guess is it bounces off of this 2791 again, and then comes back down to 20 to this 32% Fibonacci, the 0.382, and that's 2712. So I actually have a butterfly trade saying that it's going to close pinned around 27. So if it falls back to 27, I'm good with that. But it's performed better than what I thought. I thought it was going to get crushed by the 50% tariffs that got implemented. I think maybe they've, the investors still feel like they're going to be able to increase revenue, so which is always a good thing. And then once they go off, maybe those numbers, just like anything, once you raise the prices and get people used to paying that price, it's hard to bring that price back down. Just because of, I won't say greed, but something like that, something that rhymes with that. So that's checking out the watch list. We got about 30 minutes before the market. So we're gonna take a quick look at some of the movers. MDB. I've never heard of this company, but they're up 16%. They crushed earnings and they raised their guidance. They beat earnings by 52% and 3% on the revenue. So that's real good. I don't know too much about them, but I definitely will put them on my radar now. Verint, don't know anything about these guys as well, but they're up 21% pre-market. And as you can see, they're at 21.85, which is well above yesterday's close of 18. They got strong software earnings push. Their earnings, they beat earnings by 123% on the earnings per share and 6% on the revenue. So they've been flying under the radar. They're definitely not anymore. They're definitely on my chart, and they got a lot of volume. Well, not a lot of volume. 292,000. And we got PVH. PVH is coming off of a double top. They are down 7% pre-market, which is good though. They broke the neckline. They're gonna hit this target and probably go on a what they call it, they're gonna go up. I can't believe I can't think of what that's called, but they're gonna go up. And we got Doc Martens. You good? Doc Marten, boots. What's their Doc Martens? Dr. Martens. Oh, let's see. What am I doing? I guess that's a British. Okay, it's over the counter. We won't even talk about them. We got Wizz Air. Doc Martens is up a lot. They're up 17% if you're trading that Euro stuff. I don't know why. What does it say? Strategic revamp, reduced promotions. So that means more revenue. Wizz Air, another British stock. They're down 23%. I mean, I'm sure it's something based on them, based on something going on over there. And then Lululemon. That song, man. But anyways, they're up. And maybe the song has something to do with it, but they're up. Shout out to what's her name? I can't think of the girl's name, but she's got a song called Lululemon. Is blowing up the charts. What is her name? I can't think of her name. Where's my phone? Anyways, we won't waste too much time on that. But they're up pre-market. Lululemon has been around for a while, but for some reason, you know, the urban market is just now catching on to them. What's the girl name? Oh, Pluto. Yeah, shout out to Pluto, representing the A, and probably helping this stock out. So I hope she gets an endorsement deal off of that. She should. It's time out for us boosting up these companies and not getting anything for it. But that's a whole another rant. We're gonna go ahead and digress. And then we just talk real quick about. I just want to throw this in. This is probably something to think about when you're looking for something to invest in this summer. And that's small cap. The Russell 200 and that's generally where your small caps are located. The Russell 200 is down 5.9% year to date, but June historically favors small caps. So, and that's due to seasonality plus lagging performance equals a prime setup for a bounce. It could be a good time to rotate some attention over to oversold value names. And that'll be my focus next week is researching what small cap stocks are just what I said. They're oversold value names. So there are a lot of them. We won't get into them now, but I just wanted to put that on your radar. Also, like I mentioned, some affiliate tools that I use, trading tools and templates. You might want to check out check out my link tree and check out, if you're, whatever, depending on what platform you're on, look in the bio and check out my link tree. Also look in the description down below. You'll see a number of different tools that I use. One of my favorite tools is btcc.com. I love their trading platform. For cryptocurrency, you're able to trade crypto up to 500x leverage in their futures trading. They also have copy trading, and you could also do some spot market trading. If you're new to the game and you just want a good solid trading platform or a wallet that you can use, Coinbase is the place. I have a link in my, a link is there as well to streamline the setup process. I have Robinhood coming soon for all my streamers. There's just a number of different tools that I use that you could check out, to help you whatever you're trying to do. My Discord server is coming soon as well, so it should be up by the end of it's already up, but I'm just making sure it's I'm just cleaning out the cobwebs and making sure it's all nice and tidy for when everybody come to the house. So again, my final thoughts, man, layoffs are rising, business sentiment is cooling, and long dated debt is losing favor. But markets are still finding pockets of strength, and like I talked about in these small caps. So whether you're a swing trader, scalping the day, whatever you do, man, just focus on relative strength. Avoid low volume traps. There's a lot of them out there, and don't force trades. So that's all I have for the show today. I appreciate you guys coming through. And always, a final disclaimer: the stream is not financial advice. Always do your own research and consider your financial situation and goals before making any investment decisions. So I'm Reed. This was the Market Mornings update for June 5th, 2025, and I'm out. Peace.